So today, as Dan just coined it, it's Casual Monday. We're lounging on the couch. It is actually literally Monday, and we're very casual right now. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today, just like the title says, we're going to be doing an adoption update. A lot has happened since we last updated you. So much, in fact, has happened that today when we were at lunch, I was telling Dan, I'm like, oh, we gotta film an adoption update. And he's like, we don't really have anything to update yet. And then I told him, well, I haven't told them X, Y, and Z. He was like, we haven't? I was like, no. So we just decided, and we got back, we're like, we need to film it. I knew we hadn't filmed it, and I was kind of purposefully avoiding it a little bit just because I was nervous to give this news for a very long list of reasons that I won't go into right now. But some of you maybe have figured it out. I had posted on Instagram when we got this news initially about 2 to 3 weeks ago, I'd say. It was 3 weeks ago because my parents were here. Oh my gosh, it's going on a month. That was a while ago when we got this news.
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, so I posted on Instagram when it happened. I was initially super bummed. I'll just go ahead and say what it is and what's going on and what the big news is. Basically, we're no longer adopting from Korea. So to give you, I guess, a little bit of an explanation as to why that is, basically, how do I frame this? We're not adopting from Korea because our adoption agency strongly feels that a Korean judge will not approve an adoption for us because of how public we are in our advocacy for adoption. Apparently there's just been a lot of stuff that's been going on in Korea over the last couple of years. Some of it has been really good. I guess there's been a big push for people to adopt within the country, whereas I think before it wasn't something that it was kind of looked down upon, I think, before. So now people are adopting a lot more within the country, which is great, but I think that in general, our agency was very concerned that Korea would not want that kind of attention on their adoption program. Now, I will say I've mentioned this before, we are currently with Holt International, and I have talked to a couple other adoptive moms, including people here on YouTube, like Mel, who adopted from Korea, and they kind of felt like maybe Holt was being a little too, like, what would be the word, like picky? Cautious, there's the word. Like maybe Holt was being a little too cautious, because it wasn't like Korea actually turned us down. It was the director of the Korean program through Holt. But the thing is,
they don't want us to, because the Korea program kind of works differently than the other countries. You pay a lot of money, thousands of dollars up front at the beginning of the process, and they don't want us to go to Korea and then, at the end of it, spending all this money, getting denied. So.
Well, yeah, we could make 2 trips. Like, you have to make 2 trips to Korea.
Yeah,
so we
it could be after the second trip that we get denied. So it'd be like, wow, that was a huge waste of time, just
and money,
gambling on, what they advised us against. So
yeah, and so I think that Holt really wants to make sure that when they've approved someone into a country program, that it's very likely it's going to go through. The other thing is, Mel and Shane, when they started their adoption journey, their channel was at a very different place. It wasn't something that they, to my knowledge, were doing full time for their work. It was a very different, they were in a very different position on their channel than we are in our channel now. So that was obviously a big point of consideration for them. So we spent a lot of time like thinking about it and praying about it. And, I wasn't sure, like, if we wanted to possibly look at other agencies or what we were going to do about that. But after just really thinking about it, we were like, you know what? We know so many people that have had great adoption experiences through Holt, and we kind of like that they're erring super on the cautious side of life, because exactly, I would have been so upset if we had gotten that far in the process and then turned down. Like, my response would have been like, what about your risk management? Like, how did you guys not see this coming? I would have been
It's not
pissed.
just like the time and then being rejected. Or no, it is the time rather than the money.
Yes, it's the
like,
time and it's the emotion that would have been attached to that.
2 or 3 years have gone by and we got to start all over again.
Yeah, because when I got that would have been crazy. When I got the email from our adoption agent, I had a feeling, I don't know why, but I had a feeling we were being turned down from the program, possibly because we already had been for me previously being on Lexapro. But also they say in the adoption world that like your social worker, like those people, like they don't want to talk to you unless they've got a match for you or there's something wrong. And I knew there's no way we have a match because we weren't at that point in the program. But even when I got the call, at first I was kind of just like, that sucks. And then as the conversation went on, it was like all of a sudden it was catching up to me. And then I just started sobbing. And I spent like 3 days in like a serious funk. I cried a lot, which obviously felt horrible in some ways. Who wants to cry? But in other ways, it actually felt really good. I know that sounds weird and I'm kind of going down a different side tangent, but feeling an emotion so deep and being in touch with it so much and just crying and letting it out felt like a normal, natural part of the process. And it's kind of crazy. I don't even know like what else to say about that. Should we tell them about the new program we're venturing into or no? Not tell them yet? Okay, so cliffhanger, yeah. We're finishing up our home study right now.
But we're pretty sure this one's locked down. It wasn't like because of all the things that we know now, this next program is everything's looking good. So
yeah, well, because backing up, I mean, I don't know if I'll edit this part out, but you know, if you've been following our journey, you know we were trying to initially adopt from Thailand. We had to pull out of that program because once we got in, we found out that there were so many things. The adoption isn't finalized for a year after they're home. So if someone in the Thai government just decided they didn't like something I was putting online, there were things that they didn't appreciate and like for whatever reason, our child could be taken away. You know, obviously we wouldn't be able to show them online. That was another thing for a year after the adoption. But that was pretty much secondary to the fact that the adoption...
I don't want any foreign government in my business after I adopted a child.
Exactly. It's too scary.
Yeah, I mean, if I was just a car mechanic and she was a stay-at-home wife and we just had our own quiet life, it might be a different story.
Maybe. Even then, I'm
probably
pretty
nothing to worry about. But
well, yeah, because it's like, what are they going to find? But because we're
right.
public, it doesn't even have to do fully. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it doesn't even. It doesn't fully have to do with just like we just want to show our kids on the internet. Even though I want the right to do that, if I want to do that, that's not what it came down to.
We're just avoiding risk.
Yeah, it came down to I could make some people mad, or there could be cultural differences that end up making someone decide, oh, we actually don't want you to have our kids, so they're coming home.
It was just kind of crushing every time we had to change programs because
crushing is a good word.
We just got so used to like this certain type of little baby human that was going to look a certain way in our head.
Yeah, we watched documentaries and TV shows, and we named them.
Yes, all those imaginary like fairy tales you write in your head are instantly erased. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you just worded that so perfectly. That hits the nail on the head so hard.
Once the thing has been stamped and the paperwork has been handed over to obviously you have to delete that. I accidentally said the country's name, so edit.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not live streaming. So yeah,
I will say
I guess at that stage
it's just once we feel comfortable, because we can be kicked out at any point.
It might be in a couple weeks that we could be fully locked in. Well,
that's the thing. There is no fully locked in. We could be kicked out at any point, so it's all scary. We're not going to keep it a secret for too much longer. There's just maybe a couple more things we want to finish before we tell you. But it most likely will happen, because considering that being public has been an issue for the previous 2 countries. What's cool about this country is our director actually reached out to government officials and told them about what we do, explained, hey, they want to be an advocate for adoption. It's going to be very public, to the degree that they deem appropriate. That's something I always have to put in front of that. Like, we're not like, you guys are going to see every minute of our kid's life. Like, if we get our child,
still any program, you can't update pictures and show.
Well, that
before
too.
They're not yours.
But I was even going to say personal preference, that like I always have this with the what's the word? Not cadence. I can't think of the word. It's just everybody always has to know. We may not be as public once we get our child, depending on how we feel. We're playing it by ear. We're not like set hell or high water to be public about everything.
I also don't like how you worded what you said a minute ago, how we've been kicked out. We haven't been kicked out of anything.
Yeah.
You don't get kicked out of a program unless, if you're kicked out, it means there's something in your background or something you did where it's like, sorry, you're not adopting anyone anymore.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we're just making different decisions, that's all.
Yeah. So the sentence before that I didn't get full circle to is that our director contacted government officials in that country, and they actually said they like that we're going to be public about the process, for like a bunch of different reasons, but they were actually super excited about us advocating for adoption all over, but also within their country. I feel like this whole video was very like low-key and chill, partially because I've got like 22 bug bites on my body right now and I feel swollen everywhere. But yeah, also just, it's like awkward news to share, or I felt like it was awkward to share.
We anticipated many speed bumps.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I think like
there's a few of them.
You worry about being like misunderstood or things not coming, I don't even know, not being seen the right way. But I honestly decided last night, I was like, it doesn't matter. For lack of a better phrase, haters gonna hate. I'm not calling it you haters, but we'll say that. Haters gonna hate. And the goal was to be honest about the speed bumps, even if the speed bumps are kind of specific to us, like not necessarily super relatable. It is what it is. There are speed bumps, and everybody that adopts is going to face some kind of speed bump. That word came out weird, but something is going to be hard and a challenge, because you hear everyone say that adoption is hard. There are a lot of steps to go through. It's a lot of people to communicate with, a lot of paperwork, a lot of interviews, a lot of money, a lot of traveling, just a lot. So, but that's the update, guys. So I hope that I don't even know. I don't even hope anything. I just hope you're having a good day. Oh. Little bear. Oh, all right, guys. We'll see you back here soon. Bye.